Aw, no voice acting here? Okay.
Fine.
Wait, I should plug in my voice acting earphones in.
I'll do it myself.
So I have some kind of baseline of how I'm doing.
Oh, right! Didn't Carly say Samara City's been pretty lively lately? Aren't you even a little curious?
um, Not really.
Hey, come on! Don't be so cold! Show Paimon your passion! You can just think of it as a company Paimon to the party, okay?
Okay, Paimon. I'll be your chaperone.
Then let's go see what's going on. For our first stop, maybe start with academia?
Your theory is just putting the cart.
Horizon.
Look! That's Farazan over there! Do you think we should ask?
Hmm. Even just glancing at the bar records give me flashbacks to how awful that bonk was. How annoying.
Farazan! What are you doing talking to yourself over there?
I am Madame Farazan, after all. It's not out of place for me to mull things over out loud. What did you say? But in this case... never mind. Forget about it. Why the two of you suddenly decide to drop by?
Well, about that. We heard something about a party and didn't want to miss out.
Carly told us that Samara's the place to be now. Apparently some interesting things are happening, so we thought we'd ask around. Any idea what she was talking about?
Interesting things. What might Kale find interesting? Find Ariel getting so fluffed up like a ball of tumbleweed? Or Sino climbing up a tree and getting his foot caught on a branch?
Whoa! You didn't miss all that?
Seriously? And nobody thought to tell me?
Still, she said there was something big they was talking about. Can you think of anything slightly more, significant?
More significant.
Is something the matter, madam?
Well, and now that you mention it, it must be what I think it is. Recently, rumors have begun going around about a certain book.
Huh? That's a classic horror story we're opening. It's not some kind of forbidden zone or anything like that, is it?
Forbidden Zone? As far as I'm concerned, it might as well be. Tell me, have you heard of those... Have you ever read one of those really badly written detective novels?
Um,
I unfortunately did.
Tell me exactly how bad it was.
oh, because the Paimon. For example, the type we start thinking of, the type we start off thinking it's a locked room murder mystery, but it actually turns out that the whole building was just moved.
That's right. Or it's supposed to be based on a pure reasoning and logical deduction, but at the end, it turns out that the culprit has some kind of superpower.
Exactly. Or it sounded super serious, but second half, it just reveals that everyone lost their memories out of the blue.
Or it's set in the mountain village in the middle of a snowstorm, and the police officer who's been portrayed as serious figures out the whole story suddenly turns out to be the murderer, without even the slightest hint of foreshadowing.
You're being way too specific. You'll offend half the crime novelists in Teyvat if you keep going.
My apologies. I let myself get a bit carried away there for a moment. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I did borrow a book like that a few days past.
So, you borrowed a badly written book. But that happens to the best of us.
No, that's the problem. Blizzard swept mountain villages, superpowers, police officers who turned out to be criminals. This book had it all and more. Reading it was tantamount to torture. And despite how complicated it wasn't engaging in the slightest. But there have been all sorts of rumors circulating about this book, because of the strange marks drawn all over the pages. People are saying it must be concealing secrets.
Do you think there's treasure involved?
I'm not sure. There must be many who believe so. Not only have more and more people been borrowing it, but they've all been specifically asking for the marked up copy.
Have you borrowed it too?
Yes, I have. As you well know, I am a scholar, so it's only natural to have a bit of curiosity.
So, just what secrets does the book at Center of Rumors actually hold?
I read through carefully from start to finish. Most of the marks are circles, but the beginning and end points of each stroke differ, as does the color of the ink used. Most importantly, all the names of the people in the book have been circled. Not only that, many of them are named from famous figures in Sumer's history. Some speculate these marks have been left by different scholars over the eras, each researching the book's secrets, each searching for a name they believed in. Others believe that they are a kind of notation made by different people belonging to the same organization, and that the names circled are their code names. Still, others think it's some kind of encrypted cipher, but even after finishing it, I came no closer to uncovering the mystery. Not only was reading it a complete waste of my time, but sheer absurdity of the shot excuse for a plot several times over. I was so angry I turned the book immediately, and when I came to the house of Dana today, I found lots of people skulking around. I suppose they're still looking for that thing.
No wonder you zoned out like that. I must guess you won't be borrowing any more detective novels anytime soon.
Indeed. Paimon, Traveler, sure the two of you must understand how I feel.
Yes, I do.
What's the book called? We'll borrow and take a look at ourselves.
It's called Reasoning Knows No Time of Day, but suspense always follows a blizzard.
Are you sure it's a detective novel?
Sounds more kind of a light novel.
Tell me about it. Anyway, read at your own risk. It truly is unbearably boring. Hmm? You want to know what kind of books I like? The spectrum is just so broad, I don't know where to start. Huh.
It's the whole thing. Well, it's not voice acted, but also, it is part of the main quests here. Well, kinda. So maybe it's just a case of like, hmm. I just wonder about the length of it. Will this take more than an hour, or is this just one of those things that is not voice acted just because it's too short? Huh. Not a story quest, that's for sure, so it shouldn't take us the usual 3 hours.
There's so many books with long titles here. Let me have a look. Working hard and vacationing harder. What the heck?
An atlas of rare rainforest dwelling species. Professional edition. The art of the construction of coffee machines? Who exactly reads these?
Secrets of the Elemental Sciences. The book jacket even says expert approved. The former St. Cyrus praises this excellent entry-level book. And this one, a compilation and summary of common-based grammar rules for rare languages of ancient desert peoples. Now Paimon's dizzy. It's just so many words.
Come on, Paimon. You can learn 20 different.
Huh? Is that Layla over there? Let's ask her. She might know something.
Hey, Layla.
Traveler, Paimon, it's been so long. Oh, I'm still a bit tired.
Did you sleep well last night?
Hmm. I was reading a novel, so I stayed up late.
It wasn't the detective novel I was talking about, was it?
The one with the super long name?
Huh? No. If you're talking about reasoning, no is not a time of day, but suspense always follows a.
Blizzard.
Oh, right, yes, no. It wasn't that one. Madame Farson said it was really dull, so I didn't borrow it.
Oh, so you're not interested in the book Secrets?
I have been able to keep up my own work, even though I'm up late all the time these days. But way more people have been interested in the book than I ever imagined. 7 or 8 in a single morning. I feel like a living signboard sitting here like this. Kave asked me the same question, so he must be looking for it too? He was even hiding in the bookshelf over there. And louder before, looking for something. He looked really embarrassed.
Searching for something? Hiding behind a ladder? He must be at Remora. That's gotta be it. So we can hurry up and pay his debt too. Wait, no. Let's just pretend I didn't say anything. Lena, you're really sleepy, right? You must be dreaming this conversation. Eh?
I don't really get anyway, but if you say so, it's a dream.
Thank you. We'll keep on looking. Okay, see you.
Okay, see you next time.
It's not often Layla falls asleep so quickly. Good for her.
I'm not that you should go ask Kavi now. If he's searching for the book, he must know something.
But where is he now?
Good question. We can try hacking around where he might show up. There's a good chance he's right here now, right?
Where we all respond to pressure.
Do you think? Do you ever think we see like a pair of thieves? Hiding here to ambush Cafe and almost feels like we're to extort him or something. I'm not sure what that is though. We just want to ask a couple of questions, that's all.
Don't make it sound like we're the baddies. When have you ever been bothered by your conscience?
Huh? Just like footsteps. Quick, take a look. Stop right there, Ka.
Uh,
Oh, hey them. What are you doing here?
Good question. Surprising indeed. I was under the impression that you knew I lived here. Good morning. Good morning. What can I do for you?
Nothing. Never mind.
Oh, goodbye then.
He just left. Does he have work to do or something?
Footsteps again. Turning towards the door. Stop right there, Kave. Ah! What in the... What are you two doing here?
Good question. Surprising indeed. I'm under the impression that you know the only reason we'd be here was if you were looking for you.
Paimon? You don't sound like yourself. Looking for a certain book, by any chance? Wait, what?
Here's the deal.
You and Paimon pulled Kave to one side and, in hushed tones, thank goodness for this review button, tell him about the rumors that Farazan was talking about. You also mentioned that an eyewitness saw him searching for something in the house of Dana. How is it you guys know everything? Here I was thinking I'd been super discreet the whole time. No one should have even noticed.
Come on, get real. You really think that no one knows you live here?
Hey, that's not fair. Of course nobody knows, except for Sino, Tanari, Kale, and the two of you. Right? Friends are friends, so if they know, well, they know. But what if a stranger overheard us? It'd be a disaster. It might even impact my career. Anyway, about that book.
You believe it contains intel about hidden treasure, don't you? Looking to get rich quick, are we?
Yeah. Are you offering to help me find it?
Shucks. What did you say so earlier? So there is treasure. How about this? We help you find it and split the loot with you 50. That's a deal. Traveler, after all we've been through, it's finally our turn to get rich. No need to keep me yapping. Hidden treasure, the Paimon Pro is homing on ya.
Huh? Hey, Paimon!
Huh? Is that Thea?
Traveler and Paimon. Must be my lucky day, running into you like this.
Thea, you mercenaries are pretty tuned to the grapevine, huh? Have you ever heard of a book called Reasoning Knows Not Time of Day, but the Special is False of Blizzard?
Wait, you guys were looking for it too?
I do. You don't mean... Ah, you're looking for it too? Darn it. So does that mean they're finally gonna have to square off against Thea?
Wait a minute. Would you mind telling me exactly why you're looking for it?
Once more, you go for the rumors that Farazan told you.
If it really does turn out to be something important, I'll be sure to let you know if I hear anything.
Oh, really? From your action before, Paimon helped you after it too.
Don't worry. A client had asked me to get her the book, but her attitude seemed off somehow, so I didn't take the commission. She's a smart cookie, though, and it was like she was hiding something, so I thought she must have had an ulterior motive. Besides, I have other things to look into right now. Compared to some commission, it's more important you uncover the truth behind that book. Anyway, no time to lose. I've got to get going.
Alright then. Good luck. And don't forget to tell us if you hear anything.
So basically, this whole quest just to like run into all the well, to a lot of Sumeru characters, so they get more screen time. I wonder who Deo's client could be. Hey! Ah, how are you? So fast!
Flying's faster than running?
Sorry, it's the traveler thing. Alright, listen to me. It's like this. Paimon, don't get your hopes up. That book, it isn't some kind of treasure map. It's just an unbelievably unremarkable, surpassingly ordinary detective novel.
Huh? But didn't you just say there was treasure? If most of you backed on like that, Paimon just think they changed their mind and want to keep all the more for themselves. But that's not something you would do.
No, that's... I, I'm sorry. I couldn't bring myself to tell you earlier, so I played along with what you were saying. Here's what happened. I borrowed the book a month ago, and when I opened it to the first page, I discovered one of the names was printed incorrectly. That night, I'd been drinking, just a little, and I was starting to feel drowsy, so I picked up a pen and circled the name. As I'm sure you know, the House of Dana allows borrowers to annotate books they take out. I'm in the habit of doing that too, so at the time, I didn't give it a second thought. But after I was a dozen or so pages in, I realized the names of all the characters in the book had intentionally been written slightly wrong. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say that the novel itself was quite strange. All the characters' names were based on real historical figures, but rather than using their original names, they tweaked ever so slightly. Most people would assume that the author had made a mistake or that there had been a printing error when they saw spelling mistakes like that. I didn't find the content particularly appealing, so I returned it before I finished reading it. But later on, I heard the book had suddenly become the talk of the town, and that there were rumors about mysterious treasure or something. And you thought it had something to do with you?
It certainly does sound like it.
Yeah, and I also heard that now, all the names in the book have been circled, not just one. I just haven't been able to figure out what in the vat must have happened after I returned it. Did you tell anyone else that you borrowed it? Let me think. Tainari? Last time we met, I also told him about how poorly parts of the book were written. He said I'd make it sound pretty funny. So much so, in fact, that he suddenly wanted to take a look himself. Oh. You made it sound like it was so bad it's good.
In that case, let's go find Denari.
That's fine with me, but I still have some work to finish up. And it's pretty urgent, so how about I head back first and we can meet up again later once I'm done?
No problem. Hope your work goes well.
Me too. Thanks. See you later then. Wow, best viewers. Incredible. Here, let me go ahead and show you something real cool. Check this out. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got no place to go, gotta follow my rainbow.
Over there! Over there! Hey, Denari!
I heard you. I heard you. How's it going, traveler? Paimon? You guys sure look excited.
You tell Tainari about how you're looking for the novel. Reasoning knows not time of day, but suspense always follows a blizzard. As you do so, you reflect once more on how absurdly long title is, and how even just saying it aloud makes you feel tired.
Ah, that one. Yes, I did go to the house of Dana to borrow it. Coffee said it wasn't worth reading, but I was curious, so I went read it anyway. The problem was, there were already two names circled in the book I borrowed, and the style each circle was different. It was like some kind of game. Someone had drawn a red circle on the name of the first character that appeared, and someone else had drawn a green circle on another name.
So, in the time between copies reading the book and taking it back out again, someone else had already annotated it?
That's right.
I'm not sure that first book was drawn by Cafe.
Yep, no surprise there. If you stop and think about it for a second, guessing the identity of the second annotator should be trivial. Kale. Wait, no. Alhita?
Wait, you mean it was?
If there are two people living in a house, and one of them drew the first circle, then it's highly likely that the other person left the mark too. Good point. Sometimes, those two really are too much in the end. Sometimes, those two really are too much. In the end, it, as I suspected from the beginning, the first character whose name had been circled on the very first page turned out to be the murderer.
So in the end,
Surely that's just a blatant spoiler, like that joke where someone opens a novel and bam, there's a note in the margin that spoils everything right from the start.
What kind of joke would be so cruel?
That was one of Cyrus, and it wasn't just a joke. He said he actually pulled a stunt like that when he was younger.
Who was unlucky enough to borrow the book after he scribbled all over it?
My master, Naphis, and Professor Zaha Hadid, who had a seminar with him that very afternoon. Cyrus said that Master once threatened to give him a good beating by the side of the entrance to House Dana. It was only thanks to my mother and Professor Zaha Hadid intervening that it didn't happen.
I would not sympathize with Cyrus at all. Not one bit.
The House of Dana has never stopped people from annotating books, but this seemed like a special case. I didn't think the book could be allowed to keep circulating like that. So, I circled several names myself, laying a false trail. The best place to hide a leaf is in the forest. It's a simple principle.
Well, when you put it like that, but still.
how many names did you circle, Tainari?
Let me think. Not too many, about 3 or 4. I chose them all randomly.
Then, who circled the other names in the book?
There must have been others who borrowed it and did something similar. I'm just not sure why.
Who would have thought borrowing books would be so complicated? Alright, let's consider our clues. We'll definitely find out by asking around more.
It seems there's a story behind that story.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. Also, a good way for us to like get around Sumeru and talk to all the NPC characters. Heck, only ones we're missing now are like Dea and what's her name? Claris. No, that's not it. Candace. There you go. They all we're missing now would be like Dory and Candace.
Look, there's Dana. Let's find out what the real story is. Huh? Candace there too.
Well, speak of the devil and they will appear. Not that Candace is devil, mind you, but you know, patterns were forming.
So, I need to reflect a little on what I did.
What happened?
To meet you here today is surely due to the guidance of the gods.
Greetings.
Candace, is this a personal trip?
Today's trip to the city is to buy provisions for the people of our village, as well as help Miss Ataria deliver messages to the pages of academia while I'm here. On the way, I happened to see Dea sitting in the cafe looking down, so I came over to chat with her. And don't worry, it's nothing serious. It's just that I suddenly remembered a few details about that book I'm talking with you. Before that pilot even contacted me, I had heard rumors of an exciting novel full of undiscovered secrets. Out of curiosity, I asked Sino to take it out for me. As a desert dweller and a mercenary to boot, the idea of solving a mysterious treasure map is pretty exciting.
Uh-huh. Pyro totally gets that.
We inherited our custom of searching for the golden wisdom in the sands from the gods themselves. But that book turned out to be dry as dust. A bunch of names had been circled, but I still couldn't figure out what the puzzle was supposed to be, despite finishing reading the whole thing carefully start to finish. In the end, in the end, I started thinking of some kind of ritual or game or something. So I picked up a pen and drew a circle of my own. But later on, Miss Dunyarzart asked her parents to find a way to borrow it for her. She said the mysterious markings fascinated her, even though she couldn't get into the book itself. Oh, it was Dunyarzad. If they were just regular annotations, it wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary, but these strange circles, you can't help but to try and figure out what they might mean. That's true. So, Dea, what you're reflecting on is having accidentally interfered with other people's reading experiences. Is that correct? Hmm.
Wait, hold on a second. Why'd you tell Candace?
She's a warrior, you know. Sometimes she has to interrogate criminals and other things like that, too. Everyone recognizes that her job is sacred, so when we think over what we've done wrong, we'll talk to her about it. Confession? Please don't be too surprised, my dear traveler. To me, listening to other people's mistakes is just another way of protecting them. By speaking of your own mistakes and hearing sincere advice in return, improvement will come over time. That's the way we do things.
But all she does is draw a circle. And it's not like she was deliberately trying to mess with anyone. Besides, everyone agrees that the book itself is bad. Don't worry about it, Thea.
That's true. I was just telling Candace how bizarre it is. But, but, be that as it may, it doesn't change the fact that it just ain't right to mess with someone else's enjoyment of a book. That's the bottom line. Anyway, Dea, please have faith that the gods will forgive your transgression. Besides, you told me about a part where one of the suspects in the case ended up crawling out of the village on his hands and knees, and he was named Al Amal. That's right. The detective in the book argued that he must have leapt across the broken bridge like a frog. Of course, you find out later and his conjecture was totally off base,
Why's that?
because it turns out that Al Amal has a superpower, so he could float right across the broken bridge.
What the heck is the book even about? It sounds completely ludicrous.
Al Amal, it's simply too reminiscent of the good name King Deshret, don't you think? Though, considering how transgressive this book sounds, I don't think it's worth overthinking it. You're right. Uh, you know, I can't help but wonder what our friends at the Temple of Silence would say if they somehow got their hands on this book. I'm sure, I'm sure those sages would be able to unpack interesting ideas into the text the ordinary people scarce dream of.
It's now for there to be bridges outside Bearswap Mountain villages, and normal for them to get broken. But for a person to cross one by flying through the air? Why resort to such a lame plot device?
Is it really a serious second novel? Sounds more like something out of a comic strip.
I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to get where Farsigh's coming from. If you got all excited about reading a death novel, but end up being trapped like that instead, better not overthink it.
So where's the book now? Not sure. I returned after I was done reading it, and back then, there weren't as many markings inside as the rumors say there are.
Alright then, Traveler and Taiwan is still in this case. I was feeling lost. Maybe head back to Tasmina?
Who could have predicted this? It is precisely because it's unpredictable that you shouldn't blame yourself.
Bro, bro, bro!
For something like this, I'll have to be more careful next time.
This may hurt a little.
I haven't been around here in a long time. It has changed a bit.
How did it come to this?
Oh, hang on. two copies of this book. One's been marked up, the other hasn't. I'm guessing you're looking for the one with the marks.
Oh, you saw right through us.
Many others have asked for it too. I apologize though. It seems it hasn't been returned yet. Please come back again later.
Can't you miss us who borrowed it?
Well, as long as it's isn't overdue, we'll wait patiently for it to be returned. Disclosing borrower's identity without proper reason for doing so would be a violation of our professional ethics. So, you'll have to forgive me for keeping that information confidential.
You've got a point. It'd be terrible if someone looking to steal a book started harassing over it borrowed it.
Hey, you two look as confused as a couple of Aranara who've just run into each other head first. Are you looking for something? I can help. Oh, that's Ahida's voice. I thought it was Dory.
That's Nahida's voice.
Hi there.
Nahida, have you heard of a book called Reasoning Knows Not Time of Day but Spends Always Falls in Blizzard?
Such a long name, but yes, I know the one you mean. I heard that everyone is looking for it, and I found it fascinating, so I found a brand new copy to read myself.
By brand new, you mean it wasn't the copy of the markings on it?
Yes, that's right. I was more interested in the content of the book itself and all those rumors about hidden treasure. So, an unmarked copy was all I needed. Speaking of which, it's funny. There's more than one copy of this book, but everyone's looking for the one where all the names have been circled. Are they all afraid of spoilers, or do they actually crave them?
Oh, then do you know who has the copy of the markings right now?
I just happen to have seen it in the hands of one of your friends. If you're looking for the copy that sparked all over the rumors, you should look around near the Palace Alcazar survey.
Wow, okay, so straight up, we're just meeting every single Sumeru character. Now I'm kind of curious about who wrote the book. If it's someone we know or just some poor NPC who just kind of like lost the sauce and lost the plot a little bit. It's entirely possible, you know? Ah, Seto, Sino, and Dori. All together. Gang's all here.
Is that? Huh? Dory, Sino, and Setos?
Darn you! General Mahamatra, entrapment isn't gonna work. You can't do that.
Hey, what do you mean by entrapment? You were the one who said you had the book. Yeah, you were the one who said you had the book. I said I wanted to read it. Then you agreed to meet me here. Sino showing up too, which is coincidence. Pure coincidence.
You, don't play games with me. I know who you are. You're that new kid Setos, right? I know you're a friend of Sino's.
Huh. So you do know who I am.
I saw Sino's chasing you around, trying to get you to play cards, and how you found an excuse to run off after a couple of rounds right after. That left quite an impression.
You didn't have to mention that. No, I think Dory's right about that. You always look for a way out when it comes to playing Invocation. It's becoming quite a problem. Traveler, hey, and Paimon. You've been signing there for quite a while.
Oh, if it isn't my dear traveler and Paimon, what brings the two of you to the Palace of Arcazar Spray? Might it be you've come to do business with me, the Lord Saganoa Bay? Of course, please, give me a moment to conclude our business here, then I'll be with you straight away. Anyway, General Mahamatra, as I'm sure you're well aware, the means in which I had someone borrow this book from House Dana were both completely legal and perfectly reasonable. Seeing as it hasn't yet been time to return it, you have no right to forcibly seize a book I borrowed.
That would only be the case had you not engaged in any irregular activities. Yet just now, buyer, Setos, came to the Palace Alcazar's array on the basis of a mysterious message to meet a seller, hoping in vain to purchase a detective novel.
What do you mean, buyer? He's one of your people. You sent him here to deliberately try to buy and entrap me.
That's not something I can acknowledge. What I can tell you is I've had my eye on this book for some time. Remember, it is forbidden to transfer or sell books in the House of Dana without explicit approval from the relevant authorities.
Hmm. I'm not selling anything. Just to be clear, I'm just making the most of an opportunity. If someone pays me something on the side, I lend them this mysterious little novel to browse for a bit. If you don't believe me, just ask any of my I mean, curious readers. Yes, that's right. Your readers. Anyway, I was just showing him the book.
Is that so? And here I was thinking you were really going through with an illegal transaction like this, Santos.
Huh? Wait, what? You two really aren't together?
I was just curious about this book. I finally managed to track it down, but Sino, it's true that Dory never actually said she wanted to sell the book. So, she isn't the mastermind. Who started all this?
The mastermind. So, by your own account, it looks like you might have jumped the gun a bit, General Mahamatra. I'm not handing the book over.
Hmm. You may think you have played an A story, but when you opened the book just now, I saw the truth revealed before me. The book's return date is today.
That sounds like you got sharp eyes.
That's right. I do have good vision. You have less than half an hour before the book is overdue. Give it to me, and I'll return it.
Mm, how could I just, hand it over to you like that? This is a mysterious, super awesome, mega amazing paragon of illogical detective novels that is practically a treasure. I'm gonna make a fortune off it.
Should you really be admitting that part out loud?
I didn't say I was gonna sell it. It's not like I was being serious.
Then how about this? Dory, Sino, why don't you two play a little game with the book at the stakes? That's one way of solving it. How about it, Dory? Do you dare accept the challenge? If you win, I'll turn a blind eye to the book for the time being. And if you lose, you have to hand it over.
Oh, sounds interesting. Very well, I'm in. What's the contest?
Are both of you confident in your powers of mental recall?
My memory's not bad.
Yes. And you have both read the contents of this book, correct? That's right.
Huh? Side note, you actually read it? Well, needless to say, so have I.
In that case, I'll just open up the book and flip through a few pages, and you tell me how many names have been circled. Best out of three wins. Sound good?
Huh? That's nuts!
What? Chickening out?
No, it's game on. Let's go.
Good. In that case, the first page.
6.
6. Both correct. Next, the second page.
Um, I think it was 4?
I'd say 4. Oh, both you right again. 2 draws. So, it all hangs on the next question. Listen up.
Oh,
Page 61.
what? That, I don't quite remember. 7?
I know. The answer is 5. Absolutely correct. The answer is 5.
Side note, is your memory that good? I'm not buying it.
How'd you do that?
It's not actually because I have good memory, but because the circling of the names left a deep impression on me. After I borrowed it, I noticed the names on the first few pages had been selectively circled by different people. Each person's penmanship was different, and moreover, I recognized 3 of the circles as having been drawn by Tainari. Few others use the same color as ink as he does, so it was instantly recognizable.
You even know that?
Yet, yes, I learned that habit of his a long time ago. At that time, I had just been promoted General Mahamatra, and would go to a secret base when I wanted to get through all the trivial tasks in my trade, at once with minimal disturbances. I would often find Tainari hidden away on a tree there, doing his homework. Noticing the writing implements he favored wasn't exactly detective work. In all these years, he's never once changed the ink he uses. back to that book. Anyone who's read it knows that the first name circled is the real murderer. Perhaps Ainari did not want the plot to be spoiled for anyone else, so he circled other names. Annotating or marking a book is not in itself a violation of bookmark regulations, but why are all the other marks here? Is there some kind of conspiracy behind them? What if they have to do with Ainari? I want to get to the bottom of this, so even if just for the sake of my friend, and to uncover the secret, you must become a part of the conspiracy. So, I circled all the other names that were left in the book. Oh!
What? To think you'd do such a thing? So, there's no treasure at all? It was just you guys all along?
That's right. Should you wish to hide a grain of sand, burn the desert. And in that grain of sand, I can catch a glimpse of the truth. And so you were drawn to it, making your plans, yet, in a twist of fate, were discovered by me. No matter how vast this world is, you cannot run from the long arm of the law.
Wow, you're making a meat out of this, aren't you? You really, really have way too much time on your hands. Okay, I give up. You win. And that's enough for today. It is time for Lord Sangama Bay to return to her room for some repose. Farewell, all.
So, you intend to take this book back to the Temple of Silence? I'd heard there was treasure hidden inside, and thought it might have something to do with the temple. I never thought that was the real story behind it. But when you agreed to compete, I had already surmised you're familiar with this book. That's why I chose that particular format. Yeah, because when would San have the time to read it if it just landed in the hands of Dory here? Brilliant move, bro.
Huh? What's with the look? We're just thinking.
Oh, hang on. Oh, what's with the look?
We're just thinking. There have been more twists and turns to the story behind the book than the actual story itself.
Well, as long as you got it back, I'll leave uncovering the rest of the secrets to you, and take my leave for now. See you later, everyone. Can I borrow the book? Of course. After Sino hands you the book, you and Paimon quickly thumb through it. Though you weren't reading very carefully, you can tell that something's not quite right. The plot is wildly imaginative, and just as everyone says, though most of the names in the book seem familiar, on closer inspection, you realize that they aren't actually the names of the historical figures you thought they were at first. Not only that, but every name has been circled. Thinking back on the course of events, you fall silent, and then you explain the full story. How unexpected. But still, it does make sense. And it's far better than the existence of an actual conspiracy. In that case, I still have other plans. Last time I was at Caravan Reba, I promised I'd meet Dea and Candace for drinks. Traveler, could I trouble you to return the book for me? Sure, leave it to me. Thanks, friend. Is there anyone else you haven't met today? I mean, aside from Kali, of course, because she's in the she's currently inside of the Similanka.
Well, we're finally back. Now, let's return the book.
You really found the book? Amazing! I've been waiting for it to be returned, so I could see it as soon as possible. You recount the entire tale to Kafe's eager ears. Seriously? How is that even possible? I, I, I circled the actual murderer?
Paimon's really surprised with the whole thing, too.
Let's just take care of the book problem first. Hello. This book. It's probably all my fault for using permanent ink to mark a page, since that caused a whole mess of other things to happen. Now it's all marked up like this, and there's even a risk of those marks spoiling the story, so I'd like to buy it. The whole issue should be avoidable if the Academia used the money to buy a new copy. Would you please consider my proposal? Mr. Cave, your idea has merit, and it is indeed a good way to resolve the situation. I'll confirm this book's price now, and then you can pay over there. That's great. Thank you so much. Shortly afterwards, Kavi accompanies the academia staff to register the purchase of the book and pays the full amount. The staff member carefully wraps up the thoroughly marked up old book and gives it to him. What a blunder. Regardless, thank you so much for all your help.
There's nothing. We were just kind of along for the ride. Still, Gabi, it'd be better if you use something more erasable to make notes in the future.
I understand. I'll never let myself subconsciously correct typesetting errors ever again. No, I mean, I'll never borrow a book with such a long name. At least for a while. What a comedy of errors. And suddenly I understand why this part of the event was not voice acted. Considering how many characters you run into, arranging all of them to do all their lines would be quite a feat, I would think. Ah, I'll hate them. You're here. I was looking everywhere for you. What is it? Huh, guess what I've got in this little bag over here? If I had to guess. A, if I had to guess. A young man's tears of regret. And what would you know? Its reasoning knows not time of day, was dispensed always follows a blizzard. You actually bought to memorize a ridiculous and boring name like that. That's just because when I was filling out the paperwork to buy it, back at the academia's office, I had to write it over and over and over. Then, it looks like this book has a new owner. Only because I subconsciously marked that. Only because I subconsciously marked up the book with ink. Did you know Tainari, Dea, and Sino all circled names in the book? And it all started because the name I circled was the real killer. Ah, to be first, ah, ah, to be perfectly honest, the moment I first saw the murderer's name circled, I knew this would happen. Wait a second. How come you read the book too? I had the pleasure of reading it in the House of Dana. The logic's a mess, it's just poorly written. And you left the book out in the study. So, you knew I circled the killer? Then, then did you circle any names in the book? What do you think? Yep. So you did. The second one is mine. Why? The best way to avoid spoilers is to add a red herring. Then why just one? I know I circled three. I already significantly reduced the probability of the murderer's identity being spoiled for the next reader. That's more than enough. No need to worry about things that are beyond saving. And just why isn't it necessary? Using permanent ink to circle a name on the first page. That's obviously beyond saving. What kind of logic is that? I bet you just drew your circle for fun. If I must say so, then it's because circling of names is far more interesting than the book itself. Fair point. In the end, I only have myself to blame for using up all my pencils. I need to go buy some more. Congratulations. This is a one-of-a-kind, out-of-print, personally penned by the hands of so many, is now yours. Do you think I look happy about it? I don't even want it.
Uh-huh. If it was Paimon, she wouldn't want either.
That's a no for me too. Honestly, I kind of want the copy of it now. You can ring my bell,